Hey, my name's Catherine O'Hare Rogers, and I am the Vice President and Compliance Officer for MARR. Most of you have already met me before, and I see some new faces. Thank you for joining us this month. This month is Recovery Month. I know there's a lot going on. We got the conference this weekend. Jeff's going to talk a little bit about that here in a little bit. Does anybody have anything that your organization is doing for Recovery Month? Speak up about? Yeah, Kate?
We went to a recovery conference last Thursday up in Marquette. That was put on by North Care, which is our PIHP, and it was a really good time.
What organization are you with again, Kate, for
Public
everybody?
Social Services of the UP.
Nice. Anybody else?
Good afternoon, everybody.
Dave?
My name is Dave.
Brown.
I'm from Home New Vision. We're
Okay,
doing our Recovery Out Loud walk this Saturday
nice.
in Jackson.
That's awesome. How does that something like that work? Do you get like donations from people? Like people are willing to
Yep.
walk so much or so far?
So we reach out to our community partners and businesses for sponsorship donations, and that's usually what funds it. And we get some funding for it, but most of it comes from our community.
Okay,
And there's no per walk. It's just a routed walk about 2 miles, and we all walk that route. And we have a day of testimonies, day of fun and food for the family. And
nice. Well, I hope the weather turns out for you guys. Have you been
thank
with
you.
Home and New Vision a while, Dave?
Pardon?
How long have you been with Home and New Vision?
January 7th of 2024, I started as a part-time recovery coach. And March 3rd of this year, I was hired as program manager.
Nice. Well, thank you for sharing.
Thank you.
Anybody else have anything that they're doing that they want to share? What are you doing for Recovery Month? Got to be a lot of stuff going on, I would think, at least in your area. I know Kent County used to do something, but it's like I haven't heard of anything in Kent County, and I live in Kent County for a couple years actually. Um,
If
but
anybody's up in the UP, there's also tonight actually at 6 o'clock at the Superior Dome. I believe it's at the Superior Dome. They are doing a run for recovery. Great Lakes Recovery Centers is putting that on. So that's something, if somebody's up in that area, that's going on tonight, 6 o'clock. So throw that out there.
nice, thank you for sharing.
My name is
Good.
James Harris, and I'm representing Reach Sober Living in Kalamazoo.
Nice.
Just started as the Director of Community Engagement, so just getting my feet wet in the recovery community. And this past weekend, we participated in the Kalamazoo Annual Wellness Recovery Festival, and that was pretty cool.
What kind of things did they do?
I mean, it was just a variety of individuals from the recovery community that were set up for vendors, and then it was individuals that were on the stage giving testimonies. There was some entertainment, so it was a networking piece, and then of course providing information for those in our community that may need it.
Awesome. Nice.
Yeah,
Well, welcome. You're with a great organization.
I love Chris Pompey.
Yeah. We love a lot of people do. He's touched a lot of lives, hasn't he?
Yeah.
Nice. Well, throughout this meeting, I want you guys to just, if you think of something, share, what's going on in your community, or if you have any questions or concerns about anything, please speak up because the meeting's for you. I wanted to introduce the operator of the month this month. It's Rebecca Steenberg, Fifth Coast Recovery is the operator of the month this month. Is there somebody from Fifth Coast on here that can take a few minutes and tell us about your program? There's Rebecca on here. Seeing anybody? She's going to have somebody on here today, but we'll see if they're on maybe a little bit later. Maybe they're coming on late. Pop-ins. Just wanted to talk to everybody about pop-ins. I was reached out. A couple operators reached out to me already about the UP last year. What I did is I went to Wisconsin and took the boat across, and then I drove up to the UP. So I started on the West Coast and then slowly worked my way over to the east side and then took the bridge down, and I was able to bang out all the recovery residences and do pop-ins versus driving 5 hours for one pop-in or one review and come all the way down. It's just easier and safer, I think, just to be able to spend a week and just see all the homes up there. So this year I'm going to be heading up there October 10th. So I'll be taking the boat across from to Wisconsin, and then I'll be overnighting somewhere because it's like a few hour drive from there. And then so starting on the 11th of October, which is a Saturday, I'll be doing pop-ins starting on again the West Coast. So I'll be working my way. I'm assuming I'll probably be to Marquette probably Monday, Tuesday-ish. So just so you kind of have an idea. Not going to give you a call ahead of time. I mean, that's the whole thing of a pop-in, right? But just please just still giving you a heads up, the time frame that I'm going to be there that week. And just to make sure that your operators know, the people that are running your homes know that I'm going to be knocking on the door, maybe on the weekend. It's not going to be scheduled, and so they know they need to let me in. And a pop-in isn't a full, review. I just want to see that the homes are running the way they're supposed to. There's no problems or concerns. I'll reach out to the operator at the end of each day, whatever homes I go to make sure that you're aware that I was there. And I'll share if there's any problems or concerns that I had at that time. But last year went really well. And looking forward to seeing all the homes again this year. So anybody have any questions about that? Hey.
I'm sorry, my audio is kind of cutting out. When did you say the dates were that, or when was that about the same as last year? Or?
Well, last year I went in September. This year, the conference is in September, so I'm actually going to go in October. So I'm heading to Wisconsin October 10th, which is a Friday afternoon, and usually overnight in Wisconsin because it's a few hour drive from there, and I won't be there at about 6-ish. And so the pop-ins will start as of Saturday on the west coast of the UP. And just be banging them out as the week goes by. So planning on by Saturday, I'll be where the bridge is and be heading back south. So please make sure everybody knows that there's going to be somebody knocking on the door, and so they let us in, and sure all the homes will look great. Anyone else have any questions about that? No? Hey, Jeff, what would you like to share with everybody? What's going on?
Well, we're all excited and we got our bags packed for Sandusky, Ohio. Looking forward to seeing some of the real research experts down there. David Best will be there. Andre Johnson from Detroit Recovery Project will be there. And we have another half a dozen people that are PhD type experts from Stanford and around the various universities in the United States. So it's always exciting to come and see what the new trends are. If anybody has any questions that they'd like me to raise to the NAR affiliate so I can get some background information for you on any questions you might have, feel free to put a thing in the chat or email me with, gee, you have an interest in something. Um, are any of the people on the phone call registered to vote, or not registered to vote, registered to come to the conference? I got a resounding call of nobody so
Any
far.
operators?
No, everybody's supposed to go.
We're coming. Abound will be there. Abound Rehabilitation Services.
Nice.
Okay, excellent.
Good. Yeah, we know there's a couple of other operators going. I think Randy's house is gonna go. Mike Helmer and Sisters of Sobriety is heading down there. Makes it a
Yeah.
little bit easier for Michigan because it's within driving distance, a little bit better than driving
Yeah.
all the way to Virginia. Or next year's Florida, so that'd be quite a drive. So
That will be fun.
Fort
Yeah.
Lauderdale.
Lauderdale.
Yeah. It'll be a little later next year because we have to miss the hurricane season down there.
We're grateful for that. No one
That's
wants to get stuck
That's
during
where
a
I'll be,
Mhm.
Florida.
No one should be missing that one.
Yeah.
Well, you'll probably be down there anyway, right, Kim? I mean, don't you head down that way that time of year? Yep. Nice. Anything new going on with the state? Any updates on anything, Jeff, that you're aware of? Any?
Well, the
Going
only
on?
thing, one thing, which is, as you know, the PIHPs, the prepaid inpatient health plans, are going to be reconfigured. And the State Department of Health and Human Services and Aging just put out a request for a proposal. And so it's likely that there's going to be a transfer of having, as opposed to 10 PHPs, there will be 3. One will be essentially Wayne County. The other one will be what we all think of as downstate Michigan, and the rest will be everything north of Clare, including the UP. So it's going to be a smaller number of PHPs, which the one thing that I'm going to be advocating on behalf of everybody on this phone call is that there be one standardized rate as opposed to a different rate depending upon which county you're in. And,
Higher rates.
yeah, well, higher rates all around, and maybe a different rate between levels 2, 3, and 4, so that as your expenses go up running a level 3 as opposed to level 2, the rate might be a bit higher to reflect the fact that you've got additional costs. So to that end, I'm thinking about sending out a what do they call them? Anyway, it'll be a request, a doodle poll. Yeah, doodle poll. So it's like, okay, everybody tell me what county you're in, what PHP you're dealing with, and what is your standard overnight rate. And then also I'll tie that in with the levels to have some idea of, okay, on average, some of you are getting 25, some of you are getting 27, some are 23, but on average, here's the average statewide rate. So that's about all the news that I have that's fit to print.
Hey, you guys
Have any
haven't done so
questions?
Any questions?
If you haven't done so already, put your name and the organization you wrote in the chat. A lot of you did already. Thank you. All right. Well, if you think of any questions, reach out to speak up and get back to Jeff. Wally, do you have anything that you want to update us on? You're muted.
I don't have anything more to add other than what Jeff was talking about. It's the same. I've heard the same information, and looks like that may be the direction that the state's going in. We shall see the next chapter.
You know, they've been talking about changing or getting rid of PHPs for years. So, I mean, it's nice that there is some kind of change going on, but hopefully with that change, it's going to be beneficial to the operators. And you guys will notice the change and support that you need to have your homes and open up more homes with funding and stuff. So
Yeah, from that standpoint, that the funding for the PIHPs, it just got so much out of control. They right from the very first year that they were in existence, I mean, they were just way overspent and over budget to the tune of about 13, $14 million. At least
wow.
the ones in our area. And I think that created a lot of um, concern at the state level, and I think at our level too, because there was no consistency that was set up. They were just pretty much all um, doing their own thing, whatever they felt like they wanted to do. And so much of it, and I mean, I shouldn't be saying all this, but so much of it too was just so political. I mean, all of the PIHPs their board of directors were made up mostly of politicians from their area, and that's the way it was set up. And I know there were some changes in the early years to that. I think they wanted some outside people on the boards and stuff like that. But I'm just hoping that this means some changes that are going to really bring some consistency across in terms of funding, and it'll certainly help us in being able to advocate for recovery housing too, and not have to go through 10 different PIHPs and all that kind of stuff. So anyway, kind of interested to see what it's all going to look like in the end. I know the RFPs will be submitted to the state, and how they make those determinations. I mean, I don't know, but we will see.
Has anybody else heard any news about that? Some people sit in on some different meetings and stuff. You might have information to share with everybody. Speak up, you do. All right, Kelly Darren, updates do you have?
Nothing earth-shattering this month. We're plugging along and using the Behave system. Still getting reports of how operators love the increased functionality. So just following up with people, seeing if they need training, scheduling meetings. If so, they can also meet with Behave for those meetings. So essentially, we're status quo. We're getting people up and running, new operators reaching out and wanting to be onboarded as well. I think a great thing is that we've added conversation regarding RETCAP, and people are getting to know the benefits of the data that you're able to receive, especially in the times now that we're in with the funding being so iffy and not real sure what's going on with everything. Using that information for grants, I've heard that from two different people. Using information from their homes, the evaluation data to apply for grants. So we're just going to keep on going. It's a great program, offered free to everyone. If I have not met with you yet, please reach out. I have a couple of new operators that we're onboarding, like I said, and if I have met with you and need anything, please reach out as well. So does anyone have any questions or anything regarding RETCAP?
I do. Sorry, I'm driving, so I've been having you on mute with my video off. Hi, I'm Auntie with Crossroads. Let me get it parked.
Yep.
So I have Terrell on the line as well, and we've been doing the recovery capital scaling.
The evaluations.
The evaluation, yes.
Okay.
And then within the evaluation, there's I want to say that touch point for the baseline. And then each month or each quarter you go through and you do the evaluation to see where they're at. Is that's supposed to be the same questionnaire through each one of the evaluations? Is that correct?
That is correct. Yeah. That is correct. Now, they have made some changes recently to the RETCAP itself, the forms, to make it shorter, essentially. So they had some questions regarding length of stay, where they'd been 90 days before, things of that nature. And we got together with operators as well as other affiliates to kind of see the feedback that we were getting from people And in doing that, found out that, it doesn't necessarily affect the data as much as they were thinking it was going to, and they did go ahead and remove that. So, if you did notice there is a change in it, that would be why, because it has been more recent. But yes, continuing on, it is the same evaluation.
Could I schedule, I'm going to email you if we could do
Sure.
a training with myself and my program director. We're pretty
Absolutely.
proficient in it, but we want to get
Yep.
better. So,
Absolutely.
and just utilize all of the areas that's there because we're on it all day long.
Absolutely. Let me put my email in and we
I'm
love
on
to
it
hear
now.
that. Actually, we just met with all of the affiliates earlier today, and it's just really exciting to hear great feedback from the operators and how it's growing because the functionality is different. So, like everyone's starting out doing the evaluations, and then they're like, "Hey, this is kind of nice. Hey, this is
Right.
kind of nice." So great, great. Any feedback whatsoever is appreciated. I'll go ahead and put my email in the chat as well. Anyone else is wants to read? I see. Looks like I had another one from. Yep. Looks like Samantha.
Yep, I put
Oh,
your name.
Kayla already did it because you're so efficient. I'm so glad you're on my team. So my email is in the chat, and any questions, concerns, want to get onboarded, any of that, reach out. Happy to
Thank you
help.
so much.
Of course.
And just like with anything else, the more you do it, it is just kind of
Mhm.
like getting on a bike and you just you'll be doing it in your sleep.
Well,
Probably.
and it's fun. Okay, so maybe I'm weird, but to me, it's kind of fun because you can see the growth. You can pull statistics. You can pull Excel reports. You can pull like shift note reports. I had one person that was doing, shift notes for each individual, and then they wanted obviously the next shift to be able to read it. So they're able to pull shift reports. They can read all that on one page, how everyone's day
Oh,
went. Um, so
that's
something to think about and expand your knowledge on so that we can use that functionality for our benefit.
It's so great to see these extra resources that we can
Yes.
provide now to our individuals that are in our homes to help them succeed. Maybe they've been through your doors several times or other operators' doors several times, but now you actually have some tools in place to
Mm-hmm.
kind of keep track of, oh, this is where they kind of have a hiccup, and that's why they
Right.
leave, so you can get different things in place to,
Yeah.
and then when they leave your program, this is something that they can take with them and they can
Mhm.
continue to keep track of their recovery capital. And
Mhm.
if part of their journey is relapse, which is, or reuse, return to use, then that's information that they can bring to the home again, with where they return to the same operator, or they go someplace else. This is information that they'll have with them to help the operator move forward to help them with their journey. So,
Mhm.
so
Yeah.
exciting. Good.
It's a great program.
One of the things that I would like to stress is it gives ammunition to you or whoever your advocate is. For instance, earlier this week, an operator contacted me because they were asking a private city foundation for funding. And I was able to suggest, and they were able to use, here is the information from the RECCAP scores that showed as a result of staying in this operator's residence for 6 months, your RECCAP score goes up by an average of 42%, and your barriers to recovery go from 2.1 to 0.0. And you combine that with the Fletcher Group's study that was MARR certified recovery homes. And here's, you take that chart that shows you get $78.70 return for every dollar invested over 15 years. You add that, and then that is something that's more objective, it's measurable, it's something people can put their hooks into. And in terms of this is the actual effect that we're having on people's lives, staying in our residences. It works. So that is something that I would encourage you all to do, because as we're all collecting this information, we're able to show here, yeah, it works on every MARR certified recovery home. It just works. And we're able to show hard data as opposed to some type of subjective evaluation of how are you doing? Well, we're doing great.
Right.
So anyway, that's my
And
10-second version.
yeah, just to kind of add on a little bit to what Jeff was saying as well, in our meeting earlier, no, there's Kentucky is now on board as well. So not only is it growing within Michigan, it's growing nationally. So we are a group of resident, operators. And this is showing us the hard work that you guys have been doing for years on end. The lives that you're changing, and it's providing that data for folks. So it's growing, and it's not just growing in Michigan, but nationally as well. So we want to stay in front of the curve with our momentum and keep on going.
Like we have a hand raised. Dr. Chante?
Hello, everyone. You had said that we could
Mhm.
kind of let you all know about some new things that's going on. I'm doing some consulting work with the Detroit Detention Center, which at one time was ran by the Michigan Department of Corrections, but now the Detroit Police Department has taken it over as of August 1st. And so I'm charged with integrating, mental health and behavioral health, substance use services and coordinations in this center. And I just would like to know, how can I go about if we have someone that may leave the detention center and needs to go into recovery. I have all of these recovery residents here. How could I go about connecting the masters of social work and or the community health worker that will be a part of the team to, any recovery residents that may have a bed open and may be interested in taking them on? This is in Detroit, but the people are arrested from all over.
I have one suggestion. How you doing, doctor?
I'm doing good.
Excellent. One of the things you might want to consider doing is look at the MARR website. It has a county by county breakout of here's all of the recovery residences with a brief description as to the population served, men, women, women with children, fathers with children, and also their rates. And then a second thing is, and NAR is actually working on this, there's going to be a national directory, which will include Michigan in it, of all the recovery residences and the beds. Now, so that's the good news. Now, the other news that is going to require you guys to do some work is if you want to have a real-time directory, then it'll be up to the operators to come in to the website and say, okay, yeah, I've got an empty bed, or all my beds are filled, or I've got 2 empty beds. Why should you do this? Because that's going to funnel people into your recovery residences. They need to know that, yeah, I've got an extra bed. And so it doesn't make all the sense in the world for that to be something that all the operators check at the end of the day at 5 o'clock. They come and say, oh, I got a bed or I don't have a bed. That allows the psychologists, the people at DOT, whomever, to check in there and say, yeah, I've got a place.
So I could go to that website.
Yep. That's one suggestion. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah.
Kim, did you have something to say?
Yeah, I just want to say that I am able and do often refer the MARR site to people. I get phone calls a lot for women housing, especially in our area, which I no longer do. And I have a lot of people that are not aware of the site. So like I think treatment centers need to like help people be aware of the site, and because it's very helpful for people in all areas.
It is, yeah.
Yeah, so, but I do give them that information. I always give them that information. So when they're, looking, or even if I'm full, I'll be like, hey, well, you can go here. And, so I just think that that's a great, resource for people for sure.
We appreciate that, Kim. Thank you.
Yeah.
That's one of the three things we're trying to do. We're trying to certify, we're trying to train and educate, and we're trying to publish a directory. And so on the publishing of the directory, we do what we can with our own Michigan assets. And then the national directory will be included within that. And the thought is, hey, if you ever need to get into a NAR home anywhere in the United States, you just look at their directory and it'll send you to, here's some phone numbers, here's some contact information.
It'll help steer people away from the bad ones, the ones that aren't certified. They'll have a safe place they know they can go. They'll have that list where they'll know that they'll probably be taken care of at all of those places, and they won't have to bounce around or maybe deal with the situation that they shouldn't be in, that kind of thing. So it's great.
It's important for operators too. If you've got connections to places that do treatment, I know some of you also, your organization does treatment, make sure that your referral list for recovery residences is updated. I still get calls from different places, and for Touchstone, my late husband and I ran Touchstone Recovery years ago. That hasn't been in business since 2019. And I still get calls from people coming from treatment. Hey, I'm looking for recovery residents, because the list that they're given isn't updated. So really the only list any treatment facility should be using is, instead of an individual list for individual operators, is the MARR list. Give your residents the MARR list so they have an option. Maybe they want to go out of the county. So they can go, it's all in alphabetical order of county. They can go scroll right down to the organization that they're interested in, tells them what kind of facility it is, what kind of things they offer, the rate, little blurb about their program. And it gives them that option versus, and I know quite often, I think treatment facilities, if they have recovery residences, they just kind of like there's a gentle handoff into one of their own beds, but they should be given that an option. Do they want to go into your bed, or maybe they want to go someplace else? So, but the MARR list, the operator list, is really the only list that the treatment facilities should be using, or any referral source should be using. So if you have connections,
but that's not happening. I'm just telling you, because
it's not happening, because
No.
every time I get a call, and I get a call maybe 2 or 3 times a month, and I'm like, could you give me the number to your therapist, or who gave you this information? And
yes, they even
Here's
use
a-
my private number sometimes, and I'm like, wait a minute, where did you get this number from?
yeah, and they're calling my private number, so it's an old list that that they have. So think of how many people they're calling through a list of numbers that aren't even active anymore. And then they just get frustrated and just don't bother calling anymore. And so they fall through the cracks, unfortunately. So it's really important that we get them, when they're really looking for that recovery residence, that we give them accurate information so that they can get the assistance they need and get that extra support.
One of the things that I often encourage new operators to do, if you haven't already, you might consider doing this, is go to the local drug courts. Make sure that whoever's running the drug courts knows about your facility. Same thing about going to the local NA and AA meetings. Make sure that at least they got maybe a business card there with your name and phone number on it.
Good idea.
Part of it is just we're running. I look at it as like I got a Holiday Inn, right? And I need to do some advertising, and I know where my clientele list is. It's pretty much drug court, or AA meetings, or NA meetings, or hospital ER rooms. And so it makes sense just from an advertising marketing point of view to make sure that those people that might be in a position to send residents to you know that you've got a good facility, where you're at, how to be contacted, and some kind of rough idea of here's what your rates are.
Great. Hey, real quick, at the start of the meeting, we introduced Fifth Coast as the operator of the month, and I see Scott Steenberg on here. Scott, are you on there? You can take a few minutes and talk about your program.
Hey, I am, and I'm here with Joe Kelnan as well. I apologize for being late, and I'm driving. I had a kind of a crazy morning, but I wanted to say thank you for that. An honor for sure to be recognized that way. Fifth Coast is sober living for men and women in Southeast Michigan, mostly Macomb County. I shouldn't say mostly; it's all Macomb County. We have about 64 beds between men and women, less women than men. We've got a few beds for women's specialties, so women with children or expecting mothers. Um, and what else can I say? We care about the people we serve, and we love this organization. We try to do a good job, and like I said, it's an honor to be recognized. So thank you for that.
How do you keep up on your homes? Like this year, again, we went back. It's just like it's. I don't want to say you can eat off the floors, but I mean it's just your homes are so well run and organized, and it's obvious when you go in that there's expectations and there's structure and discipline. People are disciplined when they're there. They know what's to be expected of them, and they go out and find work and they do their chore. And how do you do it?
Yeah, well, I would like to let Joe take that, but what I will say for sure is that, the guys, the men and women that we have seem to care, and that culture has been cultivated. And so when a new person comes in, people treat it like a home, and we, are very grateful for that. But, also the team that we have does a really good job. Joe is a huge part of that. Joe, do you want to speak on that a little bit?
Sure. Uh, yeah, I just to kind of, I, I think really personally, I start Rebecca Scott, uh, creating an environment that feels like a home when they walk in, and typically, right, coming from the places that we come from, prior to kind of walk into the movies and certain things like that, that it has that feel right off the get-go. And then just the culture and Julie and Joe and Gary, and what I mean, we have a pretty big team, which is helpful in the fact of being able to go and check out the house, things, and then it goes to the individuals at the house. So I really think that it's like their people, you know, uh, that it's uh, really giving them the atmosphere. We care. Um, there's money involved in this for sure, but like that's not the precedent of what's being done. What's being done is we care about people and we want people to have the life that they want to have, and how can we be helpful within that? And I think from there, people people want to be a part of that. Like they got there's a reason to have skin in the game, so to speak, for them because like the precedent is set into how things are set up. So they tend to care more uh, because they know it's more about caring than it is just about a place that they get to stay for 30, 60, 90 days or a few months or whatever. It's not about that. It's about longer term goals and what they want to achieve. And, we try to keep it present pretty, each week we get to bounce around and go to the different locations and hang out with people. And I just think it's about the connection of what's there. And then use as in a couple platforms. We use that WhatsApp thing for, uh, each house to be able to have their group text communication thing. But, Scott and Rebecca do a lot of things that for me, kind of go above and beyond of anybody's expectation of what it's going to look like in the beginning. Uh, and what they do for people, again, that they get the sense that somebody really cares about them, and from there a lot of things get to grow and blossom.
Really great to hear.
Anybody have any questions? Any questions for Fifth Coast?
Or any comments?
Good job, Scott.
Thanks a lot, Kim. Appreciate that. Yeah, and thanks everybody.
Thank you for all you do. Thank you for all you guys do. You've been at it for a long time. It's not easy. And you don't do it for the money. You know, if you're in it for the money, you're in the wrong business, as we all know, right? You do it because you care. You have to do it because you care and you want to make a difference. Everybody that comes through your door isn't going to make it. That's okay. They're not all going to follow the rules. They're not all there because they want help. You know, sometimes they're just looking to work the system and they just need a roof over their head for a little bit. And that kind of throws a monkey wrench in how your system is going in your homes. And that's okay. You know, I mean, those people are put in place for a reason too. And maybe it's to help your house manager become a little bit stronger, try your patience or whatever. But stick to your guns. You know, everybody wants full beds, but you know, you want the right people in your beds. And if somebody isn't following the rules and doing what they're supposed to do, you know, just say, you know what, this isn't working. This isn't working for you. It's time for you to move on. Whether, you know, they can't pick and choose what rules they're going to follow. They can't just, I'm not going to do my chore. I'm not going to make my bed. I'm not going to, you know, it's important. The rules are in place for a reason. And if you let people kind of pick and choose what they want to do, then it makes all the rules seem suspect. You know, if this rule isn't important, then maybe I don't follow that rule either. So awesome. Again, congratulations and thank you for all you do, Fifth Coast. Appreciate it. What would you guys like to talk about with the time we have remaining? Is there anything going on in your programs? Anything that you need help with or have questions about? Any comments about anything?
I did want to reiterate as well that our lessons learned meetings are now not being held every single month. So just in case you didn't know, there isn't going to be one after this meeting, but they are starting quarterly instead of monthly. So next month, October, is going to be like our first quarterly lessons learned meeting. So if there's anything that you guys want to throw out there, any ideas of things we can talk about, maybe different like new learning opportunities, like things that you're doing around the house that you think you should know, that other people should know, or new operators should know. It doesn't even have to be for you. It's like any ideas you guys have that you think others should know, that we should talk about, that we should start a conversation about, definitely bring it up. Put it in the chat, email me about it. I send post-meeting follow-ups after every single meeting, where there's a link to put feedback. And there's a section for topics that'd be a great opportunity to put topics in there. But we want to hear from you guys. These meetings are for you. We started the lessons learned to help new operators. So if there's any ideas that you guys want to throw out, that'd be great. We definitely don't want to beat a dead horse going over the same stuff over and over again. So new topics are welcomed. So
Kayla, I'm sorry, I skipped you.
that was basically all I had to say.
Oh, I was just saying, do you have any updates? I just ignored you. Is Glennis on here? Glennis, do you have any updates? Anything you'd like to bring up? Glennis Anderson. She's a busy lady.
I don't think she's on.
Back on there? Okay.
Yeah, she's not on.
All right, yeah, and the lessons learned again. So it'll be 3:00 next month is the operator meeting, and then 4:00 for October will be the lessons learned, and then we'll just do that quarterly. So thank you.
Angela,
all right.
Something to add?
Yes. So something we started doing with Crossroads is we have a good working relationship with our community mental health here. And so we started having our house guides do trainings for those who are available. They're free trainings for motivational interviewing and mental health first aid. Kind of just, I think it's really helped within the houses. And it's just it's been kind of neat just to see everyone growing. So
you said mental health first aid?
Mental health first aid, yes. There's tons of free trainings through RCMH. I don't know if that's throughout the entire state, but I don't just throwing that out there that we're doing. And
awesome.
It's kind of neat. And the guys get so excited to get a certificate at the end.
Aw, that's nice.
Because a lot of them have never done anything like that. They've never gone into a professional setting to do some sort of training.
Yeah.
And so it's really fun to watch them get excited, especially to receive that certificate. Some of them have them plant on their poster board. Well, we have a little, each room gets a pegboard. So they
There
have
you
them
go.
up. And
I was going to say, make sure that you have a bulletin board or they're going to put a hole in
do.
your wall.
Each room has their own, each bed gets their own pegboard. So they have it up on their pegboard. So it's really fun to watch everyone growing and us growing too, right? Because every day we come into a new situation that it's really hard to prepare for. So I'm grateful for these meetings and just to have a group that we can come and share at. So thank you.
That's
Thank you
awesome.
for
Thank you,
sharing
Angela.
that.
Yeah, a lot of people probably don't know that exists or realize that that's an option for people in their homes. So that's great. Thanks for sharing.
It's a huge learning time for the people that come through our doors. A great opportunity to teach them just everyday life skills. Budgeting. That this is your paycheck, and then okay, how much money do we need to set aside for groceries, and how much should you set aside for when you get an apartment someday, and your utilities and your child support. This is stuff that we need to think about because they don't know, and that's a lot of them don't know that. And so that's another concern that they have when they're getting ready to move on. Oh my gosh, now I have all this to deal with. So it's just stuff to think about. Filling out applications, filling out a job application or a resume, helping them through that process. Don't use a red pen, for example. You just use and just educate them on little things like that. Chores. People don't know necessarily how to clean a tub. They don't know how to boil an egg, cooking, just simple things that we can be teaching people in our homes. That we just need to think about. So thank you. Anybody else have anything you want to bring up?
Angela, what was the website for free trainings that you mentioned? Someone just asked in the chat.
You're muted. You want to type it in if you
I'm
have
sorry.
it? You're driving.
If you're driving, don't feel bad. You have to
I
type
pull
it
over anytime I try to talk to you guys. So
you're never gonna get to your location.
No, I'm so close. Ours is through St. Clair County Community Health. I think it's SCCC. Let me look it up and I'll put it in the chat right now.
Perfect.
Okay, thanks.
But that's great information. Reach out to your local community mental health agency and see what's available in your area. So there's a lot of programs available, but you're not going to know about it unless you reach out and ask. Sometimes they don't advertise things very well. That's available. You're not looking in the right spot, but give them a call. Just say, hey, I'm looking for free training opportunities in the area and see what's available. Great. What else? What else is going on?
I have something. Again, this is James Harris from Reach Sober Living. Again, new in the game. You guys have been in the game for a long time, but with my brief working experience at Urban Alliance and trying to learn the partners and network with people, learn the language and the terminology. One of the things that's I'm excited about, and again, you guys are probably already doing this, but I've been to Enlighten here in Kalamazoo, Skywood, and then some other organizations. But we're starting to take these organizations on a tour of our facilities. And sometimes you probably could go to the treatment center and explain to them what you do and so forth. But when they actually see the work that's happening and you take them on a tour, I just see eyes just light up, and I'm just thinking of this one tour that we took. The guy was just so blown away. He was like, I need to hook you guys up with this business mentor in Grand Rapids, for possibly mentoring and funding. So that's the thing that I'm starting to notice is, getting individuals on site to let them see what you actually do, and you never know what'll come out of it outside of just a relationship with them.
Great. That's a great idea. Yep. Yep.
Thank
And
you for
reaching out to
sharing.
your community. Yeah. There's there's town halls. There's a lot of different things going on in your community. Make sure that they know you're there. And just and this is what we do. There's some people that want to be involved, and maybe they want to donate money, or maybe, and everybody's been touched in some way with somebody in their family or a close person that they love has been touched by the being in the addiction and struggling with their sobriety, and they just want to know a way to give back. Let them know what you do. There's such a stigma attached to the recovery homes. They need to see that there's good ones out there, and we really do make a difference. Awesome.
To follow up on James' comment, one of the things I've seen work before, when an operator that had half a dozen homes got some pushback from the local community, they invited the city hall people. They invited the mayor and the planning commission people that were going to make the vote to come down and actually see what was going on.
Oh,
They
that's a
also
great idea.
it made the difference as opposed to them being in a lawsuit. They just got the approval because they got rid of a lot of the fear people have. When I say people, I mean the planning commission person that says we don't want any of you folks in our neighborhood. We
The
want you out of the
unknown.
farm somewhere. Yeah. So that's good. And the other thing that I've seen work well is as you're starting a new home, you might want to have invite the neighbors and have some a little neighborhood thing where you invite people to come in and make sure the operator is there when that happens, that has business cards that say, hey, if there's an issue, call me. I'm the designated house mother person.
Good idea. Anybody else have anything they want to share? David's phone. Anything new to share with David's home?
Trying to unmute.
Hello, I'm Dave. I'm from Home Division. We just started up our Jackson Recovery House in May.
Nice.
We're learning as we go. It's a 4-male house. We lost 2. Now we gained them 2 beds back this week. So
Nice.
it's just a new learning experience for all of us. I just sit here and open my ears and see what I can learn from all you guys.
Thank you.
Yep,
How
that's
about
why we need
David?
everyone to speak up, because there's always somebody that learns something when you guys talk. It's great. It's always great to hear what people have to say, because you're always
David's still trying to figure out his oh, there he goes.
Yeah.
What's going on, David, with David's house?
David's Hope.
David's Hope.
Nothing much. We are just trying to make sure we are staying aligned with the protocols that you put in place as you had visited us a couple months ago. So we're working to make sure
What you trying to say? What you trying to say, David?
I'm trying to say you gave us some great ideas that have made us more efficient and effective in what we're doing.
There you go.
Yep. So, we learned the things of just, numbering the plates and color coding and different things like that, because cut down on guys having to wash dishes because they're now responsible for their own. And the little thing you taught us about the bathroom on the shower caddies, and when I explained it to the guys, they were like, man, I never thought about that before, using, somebody else's soap that they used before, or, why their shampoo was coming up missing.
Give him that detail. The soap you wash your face with? Yeah, I guess with somebody else's washing, right?
Yeah.
It makes a difference. So use those shower caddies.
It was like an aha moment for them,
Uh-huh.
So there was a lot of things I think that's helped us to, be more professional in what we're doing. which, I feel better about, and I think our residents feel a lot better about too. So I appreciate that.
Great. Thank you. Thank you for sharing that. Awesome. Samantha Yeager. Hello, you're muted. Can you unmute yourself? There you go. What home are you with and what's going on?
Oh, Butternut House. I had a lady, I got her into the house and she's doing good for like 2 days and then, failed the drug test and I had to get her a bus ticket and it was the most heartbreaking thing ever. That was really difficult for me. So, but I had a lot of support and everything like that. I really love this, all these notes I get to take. So I'm really thankful to be a part of. And it's all about helping the people that want to get it and those that don't want to get it. It's just not time, and that's okay. And I'm learning that. I'm learning that.
Don't take it personal. It's got nothing, you have no control over somebody's journey.
Yes.
And I used
This
to
is
do that
all
and
I
be like,
know.
oh my gosh, what did I do wrong? Maybe I didn't spend enough time at the home. It's just like, no, I have no control over what choice they make, right? We put the rules in place, but when they walk out that door, they're either going to turn right or they're going to turn left.
Yes.
We got no control over that.
And I have a great team leader that, she is just the best. So yeah, just very, very grateful. And you guys are amazing. Thank you.
Awesome.
What program was Butternut with?
Butternut is with Sacred Heart
Oh, Sacred Heart.
Rehabilitation Center. Yep. Over in Berrien County, Michigan.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah, most of the operators, they name their locations usually after the street that they're on or something. But we just know you guys as Sacred Heart
program.
Whichever. Sacred Heart. Yep.
Yeah.
Thank you guys.
Awesome. Well, thank you, everybody. I really hope that we see more people this weekend and next week at the conference. That would be great. Enjoy this month too, and just keep in mind that it's sobriety month. And if you don't have anything planned, maybe even plan a dinner or something, like a family style dinner with the people in your home, and so they can share what's going on in their world. And the weather's getting cooler. Yay. So maybe you can do stuff outside a little bit more, or have your windows open and stuff too. Get your houses aired out. And I look forward to seeing you next month at the next operator meeting. Thank you for all you do. Appreciate it.
Thank you, everybody.
Yeah. See you at the conference.
Thank you all. Bye.
Bye.
Bye. See you at the conference.